Solana emergency update. Are we now reaching a trend reversal for Solana to turn around and make all-time new highs? Where we're going to look at the technical position. We're also going to look at BNB, follow me, day number 22. We've been following it for 22 days straight. There's some important information that we need to consider before taking any potential trades. So if you like today's video, like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. If you don't know me by now, my name is Jiggy. I'm the award-winning author of The Extraordinary New Venture Capital Opportunity, How to Invest Like a Pro, featured in the best-selling book, High Probability Trading Strategies, back in 2008, where I only used to focus on currencies, but now exclusive on cryptocurrency. So let's dive straight in. So markets have been tough, right? Unless you've been shorting, and Solana's been really to the downside since pretty much November, and we pegged this top back in November as well. But look how clean this chart pattern is. Now let's draw this out so you can really see it clearly, because it's representing textbook Elliott wave patterns. We got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the upside of a wave 1, and then now we've got what looks like to be a very clean A, a wave B, and what looks like the final parts of a wave C, and this is of a wave 2. Now, why I say a major trend reversal, well, typically a wave 2 is a retest of the beginning of wave 1, and it often acts as a launch pad, literally like a rocket about to take off. And if that's a pivotal low, it will literally go on to make all-time new highs. And we saw how impulsive it was over here and over here. So we want to be aware of that. But on the same note, we don't want to jump the gun. What would be a very clear signal for us with Solana? Now, keep in mind, the weekly momentum, both of them are deeply oversold and about to be bullish and slightly bullish. So let's have a quick look. Weekly momentums, top left-hand corner. We can see that, yeah, they're pretty much deeply oversold, about to become bullish. So it's looking like the low is likely to form. But rather than us just guessing and jumping the gun, what would be a nice signal for us that would be an indication, a clear indication that Solana has reached its low? Well, with this market, with Solana, is making lower highs. You see this? We want to see one of these get exceeded. This will be the important one, but we can get an earlier signal with one of these two. So what is good practice is wait for the high to get exceeded. What's the biggest move to the upside? It was this one in this micro little wave on the downside. Hopefully you get a bigger move than this to the upside. Wait for the first pullback, which is the first reaction, and then that might be a good long-in opportunity with a stop loss below the swing low. So with Solana, we're literally, looks like to be at the end of a major downtrend. In Elliott wave terms, it's a wave 2. And if that is the case, what we should anticipate over the coming months, not days, months, is all-time new highs. We're talking about exceeding the former 260 closing price and going on to $500 and beyond is the potential. But it'll be, once we get the trade or the trend reversal confirmation and a clear signal, there's going to be lots of long-in opportunities where we can leverage the heck out of this. And that's what we want. So that's the Solana emergency update. By the way, we use 5s and 3s, right? Elliott waves. So I've actually got an Elliott wave and Fibonacci masterclass, and it covers it. It's the best tool on the planet when it comes to reading the markets, like a pro, because it represents the psychology, and it's very identifiable, especially with crypto, because the psychology is so raw and the projects are so young. So we can see that clearly with Solana. So if you want to learn how to do these wave counts, take the Elliott Wave Masterclass. I cover a lot of stuff in depth. Take some notes, enjoy it, and then you'll see these patterns unfold time and time again. You have an opportunity to buy one of my courses, which is on a huge discount at the moment, which you'll get an invite to my private Telegram. We do weekend workshops and so on and so forth. All right, now let's jump into BNB. BNB. Binance Coin, follow me, 22 days. We're literally on day 22. What I want to just quickly cover with Binance Coin is on a macro viewpoint. Let's just go macro first. Macro meaning big picture, right? Big picture. So we got this particular wave count. It looks like we're coming towards the end of a correction. Now, what we don't know at this stage, and it's good to know that you don't know. Let me say that again. It's good to know and identify when you don't know, and we go, right, we need the market to tell us. Right, so this is the place where we stand aside and go, okay, this could potentially be the low, or we might be making one more low. However, the market is always giving us clues. And the current clue with Binance Coin is the following. Let me just show you this. Because we know the weekly momentum is deeply oversold. So that's indicating to us we're going to have a major weekly low more than likely. And we've got some Fibonacci time and price factors X, Y, Z. Let's just get rid of these for a second. Let's get rid of these. Let's just get rid of these. These are, yeah, we don't need that. Right, if we're just looking at this, we've just fresh eyes, just looking at this part of the market. What does this look like to you? Well, at the stage of when we were trading this, because we were trading this to the downside, and at this part of the market, it looked like it was going to be a trend continuation to the downside and making all-time new lows. Or not all-time new lows, but new lows of the recent times, right? Recent times, exceeding this low. So let me just make this really, really clear, in fact. So at this stage of the market, if we just unfold the data, it looked like, okay, this looks pretty corrective, overlapping waves over here. Momentum's down on the daily chart, or the daily momentum, we should expect downward movement. But it didn't really have any follow-through. At this point, it looks like, all right, we might get good follow-through. And we're talking about this kind of follow-through, right? This kind of follow-through. And if I just pull this to the side, and then we see what actually happened, went more sideways, right? And these are signals of corrective psychology, meaning these are, looks more like a correction, like it's overlapping. So now it's like, okay, are we going to get a continuation to the downside, or is this actually going to be the end of the trend on the downside, and this is just the first correction to the new trend? And it's okay to know we don't know that information right now. These are the alternative wave counts. So we want to know when it's not clear, because there's a good argument that this could potentially be what looks like to be an A, B, C correction, and this could be the beginning of a new trend. But rather than trying to double guess, why don't we just wait? So what would the market do to invalidate a movement to the downside? If we thought, actually, look, we were still leaning towards a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movement to the downside, what would the market need to do to invalidate this? Well, the most obvious thing would be, because the wave 3 hasn't really taken off, right? So it will be if the price goes above this over here. If the price literally exceeds this over here, that would be a clear signal that says the probability states that this is probably more of a correction, and that we're probably going to exceed this high over here. And then we might get another move to the upside. And that will be in the direction of the higher degree time frame weekly. So it's important. With BNB right now, it's on the weekly and daily time frame, it's like, okay, it's not clear enough for us to be taking trade positions. So it's too high risk. So now let's just wait for a signal. The minimum signal is, exceeding this high over here. If I drop down to a 4-hour chart, actually, bottom left-hand corner, I'll keep my 4-hour chart. And if I just zoom in like so, if I just zoom in like this, actually, let's just do it like this. If I just do it like this, all right, so we get really, really clear, like so. This high ideally, this high, or even this high, these will all be indications, if the price goes above this point, that this low will probably hold. And if that's the case, we need to reevaluate the market. The all-time wave 2 low, I was doing a workshop this morning. Let me show you actually this. I was doing a BNB report. I'll just quickly show you this. And what I said in the report was, this is what I believe to be the technical position of BNB. And this position is a macro approaching an end of a wave 2. And we seem to be on a wave C of that wave 2, which is this zone over here. So this is like the theory of what we're thinking. But this may have already been achieved. If we take out the former swing high, like so, then this is a confirmation that this is likely to hold, and then we're going to see all-time new highs being made with Binance Coin. If that's the case, then we'll change our stance. When we're neutral to the market, we're just here to make profits. We're trading, we're riding, we're just surfers, we're Elliott wave surfers, and we surf the trends. So I go, right, if the trend's going up, if I've got more reason to believe it's going up than down, I'm going long. If I believe it's going down rather than up because of momentum, pattern, price, and time, right, I'm surfing down. I'm going for the downward surfs, the waves and so on and so forth. So I'm going to highly recommend that you take the Elliott Wave and Fibonacci Masterclass, because you want to get these basic concepts. And one of the most powerful things about Elliott Waves is knowing if the market is in an impulsive trend or is in a corrective position. If it's corrective, then when the end of the correction occurs, you normally get a continuation of the former trend. So here, that's what we're talking about. We're like, okay, BNB's moved up. It looked like it was going to make a new low, but actually, as it's unfolded, the psychology is reflecting itself and saying, okay, the psychological mood seems to be more corrective right now, but it's not clear enough. So we're only looking for very high probability setups. So we stand aside, wait patiently. It might take 2-3 more days to get confirmation. And then once we get confirmation, then we go, right, now we know the trend is down or the trend is up. Now let's look for another ABC zigzag correction, and then we'll look to enter with minimal capital exposure and acceptable capital exposure, proper stop loss management, risk management, and know when we're going to take profits and how we're going to take profits in advance. So take the masterclass, enjoy it, and if you like today's content, it was powerful stuff today because we did an emergency update on Solana and BNB. Give me a like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Let's finish on a quote. Let's go with MJ. MJ, right? You can never hear this one enough times. Michael Jordan. I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed. Did you know the trading elite, what does good look like? Well, good, 3 out of 10 getting it right is good. 4 out of 10 is very good. 5 out of 10 really riding those trends and making a profit is exceptional. So you can be wrong 5 out of 10 times and make significant profits over a 12-month period. Right? So you just got to take the shots. And the idea is that you identify the high probability setup, momentum, pattern, price, and time. Keep it simple. You have an objective, mechanical entry strategy and risk tolerance, risk management, and capital exposure, etc. And then you just trade without hesitation or reservation, without fear, but also not being reckless at the same time. All right, join me tomorrow for day number 23. Let's see what Binance Coin tells us. What's the signal? Let's keep a track on Solana as well as an emergency update. We'll keep a close eye on that. If we get a confirmation, we'll do a bit more deep dive into Solana as well. All right, enjoy yourself, and I'll see you tomorrow for day number 23. 23. Today we're 22, so it must be 23 tomorrow. All right, day number 23 for Binance Coin tomorrow. See you then.